Hello, very warm welcome. You're watching the weekly edition of Your Trades. Though we have our trading session tomorrow also, Ankita, but it looks like Friday is not the new Friday.
Absolutely. No longer.
Not the Friday today. But then Nifty did saw a good whole week. In fact, we've closed at the highest point of the whole week. Gains nearly 2% on Nifty. Mid-cap and smaller. Broader markets were the clear outlier for the whole week. Mid-cap rose by 4%, small-cap surged by around about 4.5% during the day. Standout gainers were PSU stocks like Mascow Dog, BDL, both of them gained more than 25%, and a couple of other stocks were also there. Metal sector was the top sectoral gainer in terms of gaining 6.5%. Metal stocks gained during the week. Vedanta, Hindalco, many stocks which gained during the week. And there were separate news also attached. Vedanta has a news of dividend as well as fundraise. Hindalco, we saw its subsidiary Novelis IPO took developments. There we saw us taking the stock higher. Reality space saw 6% surge during the whole week. Oberoi Reality was a clear top gainer here. Energy Pack saw 3% of gains during the whole week. This week was really crucial also, Ankita, because this is the same week where we were talking about the pre-election jitters and market undergoing a consolidation or maybe a correction. But then we clearly rebounded and we clearly outperformed the rest of the world also. In fact, up till now, what we saw that global markets were outperforming and India was at the losing front. We lost 2% last week. But this week, India not just outperformed global markets. In fact, domestic cues are strong. Macro cues are also supportive again. We see there was a relief rally post. We saw US cooling inflation, softening US economy. April CPI came in lower than March month. And of course, the other economic indicator like dollar index, that is on a track of largest weekly fall. It's below 105. Crude has been in a range of 83 to 84 and from last more than 7 weeks now. US markets are also on a pace, but then keeping all the economic indicators, bond yield is trading at nearly 6-week low. So now we are again back in the momentum and global cues are already favoring us. So what do this mean? Will we go higher? Are we in for a leg up from here also? We'll find out. We'll have experts also. But a lot of earning updates also, Ankita, this week.
Yeah, absolutely, Priyanka. In fact, I'll take a leaf of from what you just said. Till the first half of Monday, we were on the losing side till the last week. First half of Monday, we were losing and then suddenly the recovery started. And then since then, we have been recovering. And of course, we have closed out on a positive note. So does it have more legs? That is still a wait and watch. But yes, like you mentioned, a couple of buzzers in the trading session today on the back of earnings. Some strong buzzers coming in there for the day. Keynes Technology, solid gains coming in, strong set of earnings, trading with gains of over 25%. Crompton was again, a stock that was in focus on the back of its earnings, 15% gains on that stock. And these were also volume buzzers because these were the stocks that were trading with the highest volumes in today's trading session as well. Couple of other names, Info Edge, Mascow, like Priyanka mentioned, Ultratech, TCS, Cipla, Britannia, all of them were in focus today. And definitely the stock of the day, the highest Nifty gainer, top Nifty gainer of the day was M&M. That was totally in the fast lane top gear because of the strong stellar set of numbers that it posted and a good commentary coming in from the brokerages. And also, the commentary coming in from the management was pretty strong. The scorecard, the PAT, EBITDA, margins all above what we were expecting, and the outlook that the management gave of, they're seeing a mid to high teens growth outlook for the auto division for the current year and expecting a 5% growth in the farm equipment industry. And the company is likely to review that later. Strong set of commentary coming in from the management as well on M&M. But we did have new kids on the bourses also today, new kids that listed on the blog this week. We had a TBO Tech that made a stellar entry into the bourses that listed with a premium of 55% over its issue price of 920 rupees. We also had another debutant, that's Aadhar Housing Finance, that made a rather lackluster debut unlike its counterpart TBO Tech. That stock was made a flat debut on the Lal Street, listed at 315 rupees on NSE, similar to the issue price also at 315. So absolutely flat listing coming in for Aadhar Housing. These were a couple of names that were in focus. focus today, Priyanka. But shall we go to our experts to find out what's being penciled in for the next week?
Absolutely. Just before that, I just wanted to point in, there are 3-4 stocks we need to keep in mind, because Nuvama came up with a report. There's a Nifty rejig which can happen. And then this means that Trent and BEL, they could see some good inflows coming in. Trent, maybe $429 million of inflow coming in if it gets added to Nifty, and BEL can see some flows of $361 million. And Iltia, Mindtree and DVs could be replaced, just to add on to this.
Yeah, absolutely. But tell you what, we are joined by our experts, Rajesh Palvia, who's the head technical and derivatives research at Axis Securities. And we're also joined by Ashi Anand, who's the founder and CEO of IME Capital, joining us. Hi, gentlemen. Welcome to ET Now. Right. I'll come to you first. Rajesh, to get your view on the technicals. Well, a good day for the markets today. We, managed to cross those levels of 22,500 on the Nifty. Going forward, we are getting closer and closer to the elections. Is the volatility likely to continue? What is being penciled in on the charts for the benchmark indices for next week?
Good afternoon. So it's a very smart recovery we have seen from recent low of 21,800, almost 700 point recovery from the recent low. The way broader market has recovered from in last couple of trading session, that clearly shows that again confidence is coming back to the street, and the sectors where everybody is bullish for longer term perspective. The buying interest has been witnessed throughout the week in the sector like railway, infra, capital goods, even real estate. All these stocks have shown very good traction in terms of buying. So looking at the broader market, and the market breadth has improved significantly. Nifty has shown short covering action, and now we are comfortably holding about 22,400 mark. So looking at this data setup, we are confident that yes, this rally can extend further. Yes, there could be some volatility due to this polling which is happening, but we believe that the kind of confidence which is there in the street, we expect that this rally can extend to 22,550 to 22,700 in coming trading sessions. So I think one should remain on the long side of trade. At this moment, your stop loss should be placed at 22,350 for Nifty spot. Even on the Bank Nifty, now Bank Nifty managed to cross its major call concentration area of 48,000 and closed above that level. So I think this weekly close is very important for Bank Nifty also. Though there is less participation from the PSU bank, but still some of the private banks are holding the ground and showing the good buying interest. So we believe that once Nifty spot crosses 22,500, and if Bank Nifty manages to cross above 48,200 mark, then there could be another round of short covering we can witness in Bank Nifty, and then rally can extend to 48,700 also for Bank Nifty, and then we can see some participation from the PSU bank also. So for Bank Nifty also, one can hold the long position. At this moment, we are placing our stop loss to hold position at around 47,800.
Okay, all right. With stop loss, you would continue to hold your longs. Ashi Anand also joins in. Ashi, welcome to the show. Good afternoon. We wanted to understand, up till now, we've seen that India was underperforming, rest of the world was outperforming. But now we've seen a decent set of gains on Nifty and the broader market both. But what lies ahead now? Going further, again, we have a fifth phase of voting on Monday. And can we say that the pre-election jitters have been put to rest, or are they put on to hold? What do you make of this?
So broadly, firstly, thanks a lot for having me on the show. In terms of pre-election jitters, I think over the next couple of weeks, you probably have optimism, pessimism coming in and out. And early in June, we actually know the result, and that will kind of drive market direction. But just, I think, if we're looking at India vis-a-vis global markets, while over the shorter term, and I think, again, driven by jitters around election, etc., there may have been a short period of underperformance. If you just go over the last 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3, 5, it is very consistently that India and kind of US tech, these are the only two parts of the world which actually have growth and you have momentum in the markets. This is something that we very clearly expect to continue kind of going forward. From a global context, you have issues in Europe, you have issues in China. Most other major economies are really kind of struggling. India really stands out very, very strongly in terms of our economic growth outlook. So the overall outperformance of India to global markets, we think, is a very clear trend. We believe that as we kind of go past elections, as consumer demand kind of comes back in, and as we move towards a phase where interest rates globally finally start to move back down, you could start to again see very strong FI flows coming back into India and really very positive from a longer term perspective.
All right, Rajesh and Ashi, thank you so much for joining us today on Your Trades. Thank you for your valuable inputs. But tell you what, viewers, it's time for us to slip into a short break. You don't go anywhere. We're coming up with lots more after the break. Welcome back. You're tuned into Your Trades. And we still have our analyst with us. Rajesh is joining us back. Rajesh, tell us, a crucial week coming in next week, fifth phase of voting starting out. Any stocks that has caught your eye? What is on the radar for you? What's on your watch list?
So the theme which has played well in the current week, that is, railway stocks. Most of the railway stocks have done well, and the kind of breakout which we are witnessing on the near term as well as on the short term structure, we believe that this theme can continue further. So IRFC we have selected from railway pack, and we believe that in the kind of breakout which we are seeing on the weekly as well as on the daily chart, this stock can continue further more upside, and the possible upside we can see towards 185 to 190 IRFC is buy with stop loss of 164. The second sector where we are focusing at this moment, that is automobile. Most of the automobile stock have done well. From two-wheeler space, TVS Motor is looking very promising. Long built up was there in today's session. Stock managed to be breakout on daily chart of its inverse head and shoulder formation. The kind of breakout which we are seeing, that clearly shows us this rally can extend. Possible upside we can see towards 2240, 2260 in a short period of time. So TVS Motor is buy with stop loss of 2160. And the third stock is Power Finance Corporation. The stock is showing good strength. The way stock has recovered in last 3-4 trading session, there is a high possibility that again PFC can register again its all-time high trajectory. So possible upside in near term we can see towards 484 to 485. One can buy PFC with stop loss of 462.
All right. Thanks very much, Rajesh, for the stocks that you mentioned. Of course, railway stocks and all the power, the PSU stocks are worth keeping on radar. Thanks very much for joining in. Let's move forward and let's get you more on the derivative side also. Now, it was clearly a follow-on trend for derivatives, a follow-on trend for both Nifty, Bank Nifty. Both sides we saw a long built up. The VIX cooled off further. In fact, 1% cooled off, and now it's below 20. We saw the strikes which were very active in sense of call buying was 22,500, 22,600. Resistance happened to be here, but then the support has also risen now. Support happens to be now 22,400, 22,300 because the maximum of the put writing has happened here. So let's see if we're up for a leg up for next week.
Absolutely, Priyanka. Next week, in fact, is a crucial
truncated week also.
A truncated week also. But moving on, let's look at some of the buzzers then in the earning, today. And this was on the back of the good stellar earnings that came in. Keynes Technology, Crompton and InfoEdge, all of them gave upbeat commentary with strong set of results. And, in their conversation with our channel, they did mention what the companies are really looking out for. Let's go across and listen into the management of these companies.
We think that during this year, we will probably increase the margins by more than about 100 basis points. And even in the face of a strong growth in revenues too, close to about more than 60% revenue is what we think, 60% growth in revenue is what is likely to happen this year. So the order book, if you see, has zoomed to about 4,100 plus crores. And this also does not contain many of the orders that we just received probably in the month of April and May. So all in all, I think business traction is likely to be pretty high in the coming years.
We have been performing strongly during the course of this year in agriculture pumps. We have seen strong double-digit growth in our agriculture pumps business. Of late, the government's initiative led by the PM Kusum scheme has also given us an opportunity to play in the solar pump segment. Cumulatively, we have today garnered more than 125 crores of orders, of which partially about 35 crores have been executed so far. And we expect some more orders to come in as we look at the pump segment.
The IT hiring, we don't know what the future holds. Of course, the trend is, we are seeing job listings on our site improve. We are seeing more demand for IT professionals on our platform. But we don't know what the next 3 quarters will look like. One can only hope that, we've hit the bottom and from here on things will get better. But time will tell. There's an election in the US. IT hiring is more indexed to what happens in the US economy and what happens to the global economy than to what happens in the Indian economy. And let's see how that plays out over the next few quarters.
All right, moving on to our big story of the day, and time now for some key highlights from the big exclusive chat of the day. Anish Shah, Group CEO and MD of the Mahindra Group, joined us earlier today in the day to discuss the performance in the quarter gone by and the road ahead for the businesses, not just auto, but what lies ahead for the likes of Tech Mahindra, M&M Finance and Mahindra Holidays. Let's listen to him.
The next 3 years will be continued success for the auto business. It's positioned very well right now. We've got multiple products over the last 3 to 4 years that have been huge successes, and it's really the DNA of the company that's showing in terms of its success. The farm business is very well positioned, and we would look for more growth in international, more growth in farm machinery, and our growth gems as well as Tech Mahindra and Mahindra Finance. These all will perform at a very high level, and we are driving a 5x growth in our growth gems. So as we do that, we expect them to grow at a much faster pace than our larger businesses. Our target is 15 to 20% EPS growth on a consistent basis, and we continue to strive to outperform. Thar 5-door is coming, which is known, and then beyond that, it's the born electric vehicles that we are looking forward to, and we think they've just come out really well and would be a great value proposition for the consumer.
Are you late in the EV race, or was that a conscious strategy?
For us, it's important to have outstanding vehicles when we launch, and which is why we took the time to make sure that we have a born electric platform and that we've got designs that consumers are going to look at and say, wow, I love that design. We've got the technology, the features in the car. So all of that is important, and if that takes a little longer, that's fine, but more critical is the quality of the vehicle.
But do you have big ambitions in the EV space?
We have big ambitions in the EV space, not just in India, but to make in India for the world.
Well, with that, we're completely out of time on this edition of Your Trades. But Priyanka, what are the cues to watch out for? Let's quickly give our viewers a quick snapshot of what to watch out for before we leave.
What is there for next week is a key comments. Fed minutes of the meeting has to come. Fed Chairman Powell speaks, Janet Yellen speaks, so a lot of action from that side. And of course, there's a lot of meat coming in from that part also. So that is to be watched out for.
Absolutely. But with that, viewers, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll take your leave. Thank you so much for tuning in.